Hey, you all. Carpetbagger here, coming to you live from the north. More specifically, we're in Detroit, Michigan, the streets of the D, and they finally did it. After 15 years, they have accomplished their goal. Here in Detroit, they now have this magnificent statue of Robocop. And let's just take a second to appreciate this taller than life Robocop statue that is pretty amazing. So this Robocop here, this is 15 years in the making to place this Robocop here on the streets of Detroit. It was originally started out, presumably, as a joke when someone posted on social media that Detroit needed a Robocop statue. That other cities, such as Philadelphia, had statues there here where they had the Rocky statue, and someone felt that the perfect person or cyborg to represent Detroit was Robocop. Of course, the Robocop movie from the 1980s was in a futuristic dystopian Detroit where crime ran rampant, and they created Robocop to help put an end to all the crime that was occurring in the great city of Detroit. They took a police officer that had been murdered by gang members, they turned him into a robot and sent him out onto the streets to alleviate the problem of crime. So someone said, we need Robocop here in Detroit. Back then, 15 years ago, Detroit was having some rough times, some economic downturn, if you will, and they needed Robocop to rise above it all, rise up with the city. Now, Robocop himself, a good man, a good cop that was turned into a robot. Sadly, it was an evil corporation that did turn him into said robot. A robo police officer, a Robocop, if you will. See a lot of people coming. This has just been put up here recently, so a lot of people coming out here to see Robocop for the first time. Yeah, it's only been at most a couple of weeks this has been here, but like I said, 15 years ago, someone made a joke on social media that Detroit needed Robocop, and they went forward with it. They started a Kickstarter to build the statue, and they raised enough money, enough people felt strongly enough about Robocop that they felt that they should give money from their personal pockets to create this statue. That it all was privately funded. No, public funds went into the creation of this robotic law enforcement agent. And in 2017, the statue itself was finally completed, but it took a little while for it to find a home. I remember as a kid when the Robocop film came out. I never saw it. When I was younger. It seemed kind of like a silly action film, but I actually got a chance as an adult to finally watch Robocop, and it's actually a great movie. It's combines dark comedy along with action, and has kind of a satirical tone to it. It has some sort of social commentary about corporations and their control over our lives and over law enforcement. But just a great film, and I would say a great representative of Detroit. One could argue maybe the dystopian setting of the movie may not say the best sort of things about Detroit, but Robocop was a shining beacon. He was created to be authoritarian, created to be destructive, but he had a humanity to him, and he actually went against his programming to take out the evil corporation that created him. So yeah, it was way back in 2017 that this statue was finally completed. So everyone was like waiting, all right, let's see where it goes. Are they gonna put it in the middle of Detroit? Are they gonna put it in front of City Hall? Turns out it's one thing to build a statue. It's another to place a statue, to put a statue somewhere where someone has to be responsible for it, someone has to watch over it, and that proved to be a little difficult. A lot of red tape as they tried to find a proper location for their already created statue. Of course, there were some legal loopholes with Robocop belonging to a movie studio, but all those hurdles over time were passed. Of course, in 2020, a funny thing happened, and there's a massive pandemic that covered the entire Earth, and so that, much like everything else at that time period, slowed things down. So it took time, it took effort, but finally here in Detroit, and this is actually a local filming studio, a local movie studio that sits here in Detroit, that decided that they were going to take on the responsibility, the honor of hosting Robocop. So this thing that was manifested as a joke on social media, but it wasn't a joke because people were serious about it, people were passionate about it, people were willing to do the legwork, to put in the money, and it took time. But anything that is worth doing is going to take time and effort, and so they have reached the goal, has manifested right here as Robocop stands here in Detroit. Yes, it is Friage Productions here that are the stewards of the Robocop statue. Yeah, a lot of people have been swinging by, taking pictures, excited to see Detroit's greatest hero, Robocop, also known as Murphy. But I think to everyone, he will always be Robocop. But as much as I'd like to hang out here all day with Robocop, this is not the reason that I traveled over here to Detroit. We got a special event tonight that I'm looking forward to, so please follow me. Stopped over here at the Hotel Yorba, where all they have inside is vacancies. Probably because it looks like it has been closed down for some time. Actually, it was open last time I was here, but it is boarded up. No longer taking any reservations here at the Hotel Yorba. And I have reservations about trying to go inside, but I'm definitely not going to go inside. But yeah, the Hotel Yorba, famously sung about by the White Stripes in their album White Blood Cells, in the song Hotel Yorba. And actually, in the music video, they perform in one of the hotel rooms inside the hotel. Just remember back at that point, the White Stripes were my favorite band for a while, and Hotel Yorba was the first White Stripes song I ever heard, and absolutely fell in love with them from the moment I heard that song. So coming out here the first time I ever saw the Hotel Yorba was a huge deal to me. And of course, recently the White Stripes, they were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which is not in Detroit, but rather in Cleveland, Ohio. Also the Hotel Yorba, just right over there. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there is, just peeking out from those trees, that's the Ambassador Bridge, which will take you over into Canada. So Hotel Yorba here, that sign looking out over into Canada. Actually looks like the Hotel Yorba is for sale. Man, wouldn't it be cool to be able to actually own the Hotel Yorba? See one of the old signs there. And at least one of the rooms has the window open. And you can see over the front door here. And that neon sign. And we have returned to the Henry Ford, one of my favorite museums. Now, the Henry Ford is the museum that Henry Ford founded to keep his artifacts chronicling the United States, planes, trains, automobiles, plus many, many other things. And then next door, down that way, is Greenfield Village, which is Henry Ford's collection of historic buildings. He actually took historic buildings from different locations and relocated them here to Dearborn, Michigan. And I came down to the Greenfield Village for Halloween. It was one of my favorite Halloween events this year. Probably, as like I said, it was the best non-scary Halloween event. So I was so impressed. I decided to come back for Christmas and do Christmas at Greenfield Village. But we're here a little bit early, so I was gonna step into the Henry Ford Museum first, and then as night falls, we will enjoy the Christmas festivities next door at Greenfield Village. As we enter here, greeted by the nostalgic smell of melted plastic. They have the Christmas moldoramas here. We have Santa Claus, but also some of the non-Christmas moldoramas, such as Henry Ford himself. We can see it's Christmas here inside the museum as well. Oh, look at this. Got the Christmas tree up. It looks like they're setting up for a private event this evening in the museum. And who wouldn't want to dine next to Ronald Reagan's limousine? Now, when we were here in October, we focused on the planes and trains, so this time let's take a look at the automobiles. Start all the way back here in 1865 with the Roper steam carriage, a steam-powered car, and talks about the experimentation as they tried different things. You know, it was a whole open blank slate of what a car would look like and how it would work. You kind of see the first ideas taking shape. This super fancy looking car here is the 1906 Thomas Flyer. And then over here, this shiny red one here, this is a Ford Model T, the most famous cars of all time. There's a Model N. You don't hear about the Model Ns as much. And it does talk here about how the Model T is kind of what turned America into a car-based culture. They said the Model T was everywhere. Everyone wanted a Model T. There's even pictures here where farmers were using Model Ts as tractors. The doctors using them to make house calls. Such things as auto camping. Even the ladies liked the Model T. It actually talks here about the Great Depression, and obviously Great Depression, a huge bummer. Everyone was broke. The future seemed bleak, so people wanted something to look forward to. So they started making things look more futuristic. They wanted to make the future look bright. They made cars like the 1937 LaSalle Coupe here, and it does talk here about the World's Fairs being kind of a response to the Great Depression. We have the Century of Progress in Chicago, the sequel to the 1893 World's Fair. Here's some of those actual tickets. Man, it's been said before, I wish I could have been to a World's Fair. And then the New York 1939 to 1940 World Fair, right there. That's part of the structure from the fair. I don't think this part is here anymore, but there is some remnants. See the Jeep there for military uses. Talks about war driving. Not only were they driving in the war, but they were driving at home, or at least they're actually trying not to drive as much at home to conserve rubber and fuel. It says when you ride alone, you ride with Hitler, meaning if you don't carpool, that extra fuel is making America lose the war. Oh good, World War II is over. We get back to having awesome cars. 1950s here, we have the 1955 Chevrolet, and a lot of these cars are still considered classics. Here we are moving into the 1960s and kind of seeing how cars change and how their design alters over time. Like with this 1978 Dodge Omni sedan, a very different turn here where cars start to look a little more boxier. It's just interesting how different styles of vehicles come and go. And then we end here with the 2002 Ford Prius. We have some race cars back here, because America loves cars. They love riding in cars, and they love seeing who has the fastest car. Some of these old race cars are pretty sweet looking. This is from 1958. It says 1935. I guess these competed in the Indianapolis 500. More modern car here, 1984. Oh my gosh, there's hardly anything left from this one. This is 1972 McLaren. And this is a rather Christmassy exhibit here. This is Miniature Moments, where they're having a complete collection of the Hallmark ornaments. This is the one I was going to say that my mom used to have on her tree, but my mom still has this on her tree. This Santa's answering machine, 1992. Yeah, still, my mom has a tree upstairs. She doesn't put all the ornaments on it, but she puts this on there because the kids like to push the button and you can hear Santa's answering machine message. It's funny though, the kids, the kids that are kids now don't even know what an answering machine is. Just look at all these different Hallmark ornaments. See, from all sorts of different IPs. Pirates of the Caribbean. You have Precious Moments. You have Santa Claus in a leather jacket. So many ornaments here. There's animated shorts. There's copyright-free Boat Mouse. We have movies, holiday specials. There's National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. That's one of my favorite all times. Also a fan of Christmas Story. I remember the first time I saw this, I thought it was amazing. I don't think they really need to play it in a 24-hour loop, but it's still a good movie. Of course, Rudolph, another one of my favorites. The original Grinch, the original animated Grinch, I would say is probably. I'd put these four in my favorite Christmas movies. Wonderful Life, just a little bit before my time, and Charlie Brown. It's a little slow paced. Some more movies here. Wizard of Oz, probably my favorite movie of all time. And Indiana Jones, one of Jen's favorites. E.T. up here, the first movie I ever saw in a movie theater. It's the Star Wars section. Jen still gets a Hallmark Star Wars ornament every year, and they are they're really they're like animated now. She has like Han being frozen in carbonite, where you can actually watch him being preserved, being like lowered down into the carbonite. It's pretty crazy. In fact, they're actually, it's like they're so big and heavy, they like won't hang on the tree properly because they weigh the whole tree down. So it does say that this gallery has all the ornaments from 1973 to 2009. So they're still churning them out. So they're missing all the ornaments that they've made since 2009. Still very impressive here. This case over here has my favorite item in the entire museum. Edison's last breath. Henry Ford was such a fan of Thomas Edison, looked up to him so much that he kept test tubes next to his deathbed and had Edison's son, Charles, put his last breath into a test tube, seal it with wax, and now it sits here in the Henry Ford Museum. That's crazy. The last breath. I want my last breath preserved like that. If anyone wants to, I don't know, it sounds like a lot of effort. Never mind. This is the Da Vinci exhibition. It's they opened it back in October after I visited, and we were running until May. Now, I actually saw this exhibit, believe it or not, of all places, at the Alaska State Fair. A lot of Da Vinci's concepts in here. Here's his idea of the ideal city. Yeah, it does seem pretty nice. A lot of stairs, though, not necessarily completely accessible. You see Da Vinci's diving suit. Not too dissimilar to what we ended up using. And there is floats, like skis that you could use to actually walk on water. I think you'd have to walk really carefully. There is a Da Vinci life preserver. It looked like he was pretty dead on with that one. So I guess he had pretty much invented the life preserver. Here are the flying machines. Da Vinci was obsessed with learning how to fly. The flapping wing there. This one's like a big screw, kind of a early version of the helicopter. See the parachute there. The Da Vinci parachute actually made of wood, which may have still worked, but a little heavier than our modern one. And the hand glider. Looks like that special event may have been for the Detroit Police Department. The real Robocops. Heading over here to Greenfield Village, which is next to the Henry Ford, where they are having their Christmas festivities. I guess Holiday Nights is the name of the event. And the bell chiming, 6 o'clock. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
So they have horse-drawn wagon rides. Guess that sounds like a good way to start things out. And there's our chariot. All right, everyone pile into the wagon. And here we go. Looks like we're taking a nice little wagon ride through the farm portion of Greenfield Village. a warm glow from inside the homes here. The ice in the pond here. It looks like this is where we disembark. These are the two fine horses that got us here. We'll come over here where we can climb aboard one of these Model Ts ourselves. See them leaving from the Model T loading dock. It's a whole fleet of Model Ts.
Welcome to Henry Ford's Model T ride.
Happy to be here.
First time?
I rode once before.
Okay.
Where's the police officer? Oh, look at this.
So where are you from?
North Carolina.
Are you?
Yeah.
A little cool for you up here, huh?
It's a little cool. It's not too bad tonight.
Actually, it's a nice night by Michigan standards. As they say, you should have been here last week.
Is it cold? Yeah, I was elsewhere in the Midwest last weekend and it was very cold.
Yeah. So the car you're riding in is a 1927 Ford Model T. And it is an authentic Model T. It's really a 98-year-old car.
Wow.
And 1927 was the last year Henry Ford built the Model T.
1927 is when they stopped making them?
That was the last one. He built them from 1908 to 1927, roughly 19 years. He built just over 15 million of them.
15 million?
15.15 million. Amazing number of cars like that. Thanks for riding with me, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening here.
Thank you so much.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
And safe travels back home.
Oh, thank you so much. Safe driving all night.
Thank you. You can have its challenging moments.
Hello.
Hello, Merry Christmas.
Are you like a Christmas lion of some sort?
We are the Mummers.
The Mummers.
Yes, yes.
I've heard of you, I think.
Yeah. Well, we're here every year. Mumming has a tradition that goes across Europe and America. Usually on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, men would put on a mask, make a costume with things around the house, go house to house, performing music, putting on skits, telling jokes, and then you'd give us food and drink.
Oh,
So the mass allowed men of different social classes to interact as equals during the holiday season.
that's excellent. Well, thank you so much.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate it.
Today in America, it's famous for the Mummers Parade.
That's in Philadelphia?
In Philadelphia.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
Costumes go back 5 generations.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate
You're
the history
welcome.
lesson.
Merry Christmas.
Is this a mummer too?
Yes.
I'm not Mummer 1.
Mummer 1?
Yes.
I always mummer 1.
Yeah, you don't give me the designation of 2. That's 2.
That's a
General,
mummer.
That's my lieutenant.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, General.
Excellent. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Oh, look at this mummer here. It's a donkey.
Not just any donkey,
Not
but
just-
Don Quixote.
Donkey, oh, like Don Quixote, but with a donkey. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. And over here we have the actual Wright brothers cycle shop that was brought over here from Dayton, Ohio. The Wright brothers who invented the airplane. They made bicycles first before airplanes. I guess kind of based the original airplane off of bicycles. We can go inside.
Years of tinkering and experiments, the brothers have their first successful flight in human history in December of 1903. Brothers fly for about 12 seconds. By the end of the day, they're flying for over a minute. And they send a telegram back home to Mom and Dad in Dayton, Ohio, announcing their success and are back home in time for Christmas to celebrate.
This is their machine shop here where they made bicycles. But in the back is their secret project where they're making a real airplane. Guess we should have the most Christmassy snack possible and get some fresh roasted chestnuts. Wonder if they're roasting over an open fire. So there are a cup of chestnuts. Looks like it's the whole nut, but it looks like maybe they're cracked. See if we can open these up. I don't know if surely I've had chestnuts in something or on something, but I don't ever remember just eating a chestnut just like this. Very meaty. That's interesting. It's got a very meaty taste. It almost tastes like beef stew or something. I know that sounds strange. There's a statue of Thomas Edison, of course, the mentor of Henry Ford. Saw his last breath earlier in the Henry Ford Museum that Henry Ford had kept in honor of his mentor. This is Menlo Park, recreation of Thomas Edison's laboratory.
So a pretty diverse, group of people. We're starting to come to Menlo Park. to see electric plates in action.
Tinfoil. It's the very first celebrity recording ever made. It's a sound recording. Thomas Edison invents the phonograph in 1877. Looks like this here. It's the first machine that can let you record your voice and play it back. So that leads to the entire music industry being created later. But by 1880, Edison's kind of spreading these machines around. He's leasing them to people who are traveling around with them, showing them off to people as a novelty. And now by 1880, celebrities are starting to hear about Thomas Edison's talking machine. The machine that can let you record your voice onto a piece of tinfoil and play it back. So by December of 1880, Sarah Bernhardt hears about Edison and his light bulbs and his talking machine, and she's doing a world tour. Who's Sarah Bernhardt? She is a very famous French actress in 1880. Does anyone here, have you ever heard that name? Raise your hand if you've heard of Sarah Bernhardt before. Okay, I see a couple hands. Raise your hand if you've heard of Taylor Swift before. Yeah. A lot more hands, right? So Sarah Bernhardt was like a Taylor Swift of 1880. Everybody knew who she was. She was French, she did her plays in French, and even if you didn't speak French, people would still pay a bunch of money to go see her plays because she was so dramatic with her acting. So she stopped by Edison's lab in the middle of the night because she was so famous. There might be a giant crowd forming if people saw her coming in. And she gets a little tour of Edison's laboratory, sees his light bulbs, and makes her own recording on Thomas Edison's tinfoil phonograph. That recording, unfortunately, because of the nature of tinfoil recordings, they can only be played about 5 or 6 times before they wear out. And you can't take the tinfoil off and put it back on the machine and play it again. So this can't be put on a plate. But because of its importance being the first celebrity recording, she did re-record it onto a wax cylinder later. That was then digitized. So I can play for you guys what Sarah Bernhardt spoke into that tinfoil. Here it is. She is speaking French there. She's reciting a scene from a dramatic play. And have any of you guys ever listened to a voicemail of your own voice and you don't like your voice sometimes, or you're indifferent to your own voice? Or you can be like a Sarah Bernhardt who was so thrilled and excited to hear her own voice that she begged Thomas Edison to let her keep the phonograph and take it home. And her being the level of fame that she was, if somebody on the fame level of Taylor Swift or Beyonce asks for something, it's good publicity to give it to them. So he essentially told her, you can't have the one from the lab, but I'll have one waiting for you in France.
Upstairs.
And right down there is a dinner from Del Monaco's in New York City. Fancy restaurant. Well, let's just say by morning he had this deal for like 52 blocks in New York City. And that just shows you.
Talking about how Edison lit up a good portion of Manhattan in New York City with light bulbs. That chair there nailed to the floor. The only 2 people that sat in it were Thomas Edison and Henry Ford. Preserved it here, saying no one else would sit in this chair ever, because his mentor Thomas Edison had sat there and he wanted it preserved here forever. He made one exception and allowed Helen Keller to sit in that chair. It's quite a gathering over here. Everyone is gathered over here.
Merry Christmas, Olson! And Camden is here too. And Wesley.
Santa.
Nice job.
Santa's up there.
Katie. Katie's on Santa's nice list tonight. and so many more good boys and girls.
He's reading his list.
Ella just made Santa's nice list tonight. Great job, Ella.
Ella made Santa's nice list.
And Petrie made Santa's nice list tonight, as well as Kennedy. Merry Christmas, everybody. August is on Santa's nice list tonight, and so is Parker.
I don't know if he's going to read the naughty list. There's a lot of kids on the nice list.
And Connor, I see your name tonight too. Merry Christmas, everybody. Avery, Merry Christmas, Avery.
This might take a while.
Olivia, it's so good to see you, Olivia. And Lexi is on Santa's nice list too. Good job this year. Sammy, I see your name tonight. And Lottie, ho ho ho! Nice work this year, Lottie.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. A day or two ago, I thought I'd take a ride, and soon Miss Fanny Bright was seated by my side. The horse was lean and lame, misfortune seemed his lot. We got into a drifted bank, and then we got upset. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Looks like some people buying some Christmas trees. This is the Christmas tree stand. Christmas greens. You can actually purchase a wreath Well, it looks like you can actually purchase a tree. Purchase one of these trees here. 46 for this. Not bad. If I would have known, would have come and picked out a tree. So I want to send my heart out there to everyone. Merry Christmas. If you don't celebrate Christmas, you celebrate something else, or if you don't celebrate anything at all, I also send you very warm wishes. I'm going to be spending the next couple days with family. I hope for those of you with family, you do get to spend time with your family, or if you don't, loved ones. I hope you get to spend some time with the people that you care about. Hold them tight. There's no certainty of tomorrow. Thank you, everyone who watches. This one's in the bag.